We're going to talk some hoops. We're going to do something a little bit different here.
Yeah, we're talking about Coach Pop, the big changes in San Antonio.
Yeah. What a unique man. Marched to his tune of his own drum, independent thinker, brilliant guy, beloved in the NBA by players who played for him that he developed and guys that played against him and coached against him. You know, we talked early in the season, Gregg Popovich was hospitalized for an extended period, suffered a minor stroke, took him forever to get his strength back, was supposed to return in January, elected not to come because he still didn't feel right, and now he's stepped away as head coach. He's become the president of the San Antonio Spurs. His farewell press conference today was really funny, and that's usually not Popovich. He showed up wearing a T-shirt. And I majored in French in high school, not very well. But he showed up with something that said Algier. And I think if you anglicize it, it means I'm the president. So he showed up. So he took his sports jacket up, Algier.
Okay.
So everybody howled and laughed. But the outpouring of respect is unbelievable. Coach, friend, confidant. Over 1,400 wins for Pop, 5 NBA championships, made the playoffs 22 years in a row, a man of standards and a man of loyalty. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and now the current super big man, Wembanyama. Smartest guy in the NBA who I don't think he really got a hell of a lot of credit till he actually got named to the Hall of Fame. And maybe that's just because San Antonio's off the beaten path. San Antonio's not on a highway, really. San Antonio's not big market. San Antonio's about the Alamo. I dealt with him a couple times. I found him a little standoffish, a little tough to deal with. He was volatile as a personality. He didn't give a crap what John Riley thought or what Hacksaw thought.
Not at all.
He told the media what he wanted to tell the media, and he was stubborn with the media when he wanted to be stubborn with the media. He was one of the first guys in sports to look towards the White House and say, you're freaking wrong. And he has been nonstop in his criticism of your president. He's unique. I'm glad he fought back from the stroke, the wears, the tears, the stress of being an NBA coach. He just woke up and realized, I can't do this anymore the way I've done it in the past. And the past was so unbelievably successful. And not only to the Spurs and the NBA, but what he contributed to Team USA and the Olympic ventures. I just think a great, great man. Really cut from a different cloth. Very different personality. We're talking about all things Belichick, all things Popovich, too. It's kind of right up there, but good guy.
Yeah. I mean, if they ever do a biopic movie on this guy, you got to get Donald Sutherland to star as him. It'd be perfect. But I remember when Popovich was an assistant for the Golden State Warriors. He was there for a little while, and then he goes to San Antonio, and everyone was always raving about this guy. And it was unusual. I mean, you know, San Antonio is a blossoming market, you know, and it's kind of near Austin, but they're getting it just was interesting that he was sort of tucked away there.
Yep.
And he was loyal and he stayed where, you know, you could have gone for the big money in New York or wherever else. And I like the fact that he was outspoken, but it's interesting that he was outspoken in a state where most of the people don't like what he has to say.
That's right.
You know, and so that takes a lot more bravery. And then it could, and really doing that could really undermine ticket sales and everything else.
Now they're winning because they got big men, and he don't care what the critics say. Screw them.
So I'm thinking, you were talking about names. I mean, obviously, I'm thinking of great Spurs during his era, and you know, obviously Tim Duncan was there, and
David Robinson, and Wembanyama, and Kawhi Leonard.
Now, was Sean Elliott there during his time frame? I remember him. He was a terrific player. And then the kid from France. Who was it? Tony Parker?
Parker and Manu Ginobili from Spain.
No, he was from Argentina or something. Wasn't he from South America?
Anyhow,
yeah.
The Spurs were one of the first ones, and he had something to do with it. Mined the European theater for players. Nobody had ever done that before. All of a sudden, the two guards came from abroad, Parker and Ginobili.
Yeah. And then Patty Mills, I remember, was there. And was Patty Mills from a foreign nation?
I think France.
He might be, yeah, because I know he was St. Mary's, and that was part of the pipeline that
From Europe.
yeah, that Randy Bennett cooked up. So he's still involved, Popovich
President.
still involved as president, but I mean, he had a stroke. I mean, that's pretty serious.
Minor stroke.
Well, yeah, okay, that's
LGs. Don't argue with him.
okay. Well, sometimes that's your body is talking to you, and
Exactly.
it's time to take a step back.
I bet you didn't know this, where he started. Air Force Academy.
Really?
He played at the Air Force Academy. He graduated at the Air Force Academy. He was an assistant at the Air Force Academy.
Well, that speaks a lot to his integrity and his character.
Standards, loyalty.
Yeah, exactly.
Really cool guy. Different guy. Really cool. But he's staying in the NBA as LGs of the San Antonio Spurs.